The letter to Leopold. On the 15th of December, 1781, Mozart wrote his father and told him the news that Leopold feared more than any other, that Wolfgang intended to marry. The letter remains one of the most amazing documents in the entire history of Western music. Mozart wrote, and I quote, "Now, dearest, best father, listen to me. Now that I have been obliged to reveal my plans to you, please permit me to explain my reasons, very well-grounded reasons. Nature speaks as loudly in me as any other man, and perhaps more loudly than in many another big, strong brute. I cannot possibly live the way most young men do nowadays. First, I am too religious. Secondly, I am too honorable to seduce an innocent girl. And thirdly, I have too much dread and fear of diseases, and too much regard for my own health to fool around with whores. I can swear to you that I've never had anything to do with women of this kind. Although, if such a thing had occurred, after all, to err is natural enough in a man." Unquote. Can we even imagine Leopold's skin color as he read that? Mozart continues, quote, "Owing to my disposition, which is more inclined to a peaceful and domesticated existence than to revelry," okay, whatever, "I, who from my youth have never been accustomed to looking after my own belongings, linen, clothes, and so forth, cannot think of anything more necessary than a wife." Unquote. That was very clever, I think. Wolfgang took a page right out of his father's book, 1001 Guilt Trips for All Occasions. Because you took care of everything, I never learned to do anything. And since I'm here and you're there, I need someone to take care of all my needs, if you follow my drift there. Our would-be bridegroom now gets specific. Quote, "Who is the object of my love? Again, don't be shocked. I beg you. Not one of the Webers. Yes, a Weber, not Josepha, not Sophie, but Constanzi, the middle one." Unquote. Mozart proceeds to describe Constanzi, who was just short of her 20th birthday at the time, as a poor, suffering, hard-working, Cinderella-like provider for the Weber family. What becomes increasingly clear in the remainder of Mozart's letter is his identification with Constanze Weber as the unappreciated mainstay of her family. Back to Mozart's letter. Quote, "She makes herself responsible for the whole household, and yet, in their opinion, she does nothing right. Her whole beauty consists in 2 little black eyes and a pretty figure. She has no wit, but enough common sense to fulfill her duties as a wife and mother. I love her, and she loves me with all her heart. Tell me whether I could wish for myself a better wife." Unquote. It's impossible not to wonder whether Leopold appreciated the depth of Wolfgang's identification with Constanze and the rescue fantasy that was playing out before his eyes when Wolfgang wrote that, quote, "I shall never cease begging you to allow me to save this poor girl. I must rescue her as soon as possible. I am longing to be able to set her free." Unquote. Did Leopold appreciate the depth of Wolfgang's identification with Constanze? No, absolutely not. If he had recognized it, it would have meant admitting his own complicity in creating Wolfgang's mindset that by saving Constanze, he was rescuing himself as well. Now,